ESL Open Cup Korea Grand Final. Edition number 216, best of 5, and it's PvT on the docket. As in the top right corner, our Blue Protoss player representing Dragon Kaiser Gaming. This will be herO. Has not had an easy road to get here through Dark and Solar. Was pushed to 3 games in both of those best of 3s. Also had to take out Bunny at the start of the day too. Pretty impressive Open Cup run for herO actually so far. Can he get the icing on the cake? As in the bottom left, our red Terran player representing Cloud9, of course, is GuMiho. Let's not diminish his run through this bracket. His side of the bracket was not easy at all. And he did come through Shin in the semifinals. He had to make it through Creator and DRG as well. These Open Cups have been getting a little tougher. And you look at the players that were taken down on the way. GuMiho's side of the bracket started with DRG, Creator Classic, Oliveira, Shin, Su, and Kua. GuMiho to be the last man standing out of that set of 8 players is a pretty big deal. So, yeah, very cool stuff as we get game number 1 of this best of 5 completely underway. We get this started up. We look to see what will happen. And see whether GuMiho will be able to break what is a typically losing streak against his opponent herO here. It is absolutely herO that has that upper hand in terms of their history. And does it surprise you? Because GuMiho, to me, benefits from playing more aggressive, crazier, kind of wilder styles of play, right? So if GuMiho generally benefits from that, herO is the kind of player to just stand up, step up, and be like, no. You know what? No. That's not what I'm about. You know, in fact, no. That is what I'm about. You know? And that's why I like it for herO in terms of their style, because herO doesn't mind playing crazier games. And so GuMiho's style does not maybe have as much of an effect on a herO who's also going to play a little bit wild and wacky himself. So can you out-wacky the crazy player? Well, like I say, that's a tough one to do, so we will see. As Orbital Command producing away, Reaper is continuing up, the factory is still coming about, and Reaper goes through the center, passing by the watchtower for a couple of moments here. Warp Gate just continues up as our Twilight Council will come through. The Nexus is still on the way in. We have ourselves the Warp Gate coming through as well. Nothing too surprising, of course, heading into that Twilight. Means we're likely going to be seeing a Blink play. Unless hero's going to really get crazy and going to start going Dark Shrine or something. Maybe that's one way to really completely mix this up, but not... I feel like that's the case just yet. So yeah, Blink on the way through as the starboard finishes here from GuMiho. He already has a Cyclone out and his Widow Mine's now starting to get up and running. A couple of Marines coming up, the medevac's on the way. Gonna be seeing the orbital getting set up on the low ground. We get that rolling for the moment. See where we are gonna end up here. As the 2 Widow Mines go boosting across over to the upper right hand side, so again away we go for the moment. Lincoln's about halfway done. Again, the Robo facility, the gateway will building through. We do have the Reaper going past a couple of Adepts. Blink not far from being done here. Is again Marines and a siege tank coming through, and just have ourselves the Widow Mines just going to be dropping into this natural expansion. There is an immediate kill though, so good to know by herO. It's a pretty good shutdown. About to have Blink, and that's dangerous for this medevac, because if you don't realize that there's Blink available, Blink to the low ground, it's going to die instead of sitting in a corner or something. That is going to be that. Two bunkers coming up from GuMiho. His Marines tanking a Cyclone, just going to knock down that set of rocks. Open that up. Marines coming through, the Libra and the tank on the way in. We do have ourselves GuMiho absolutely going to have to play defensively here. Widow Mine drop lost, so you can bring everything across the map as herO. Obviously, the Stalkers have their blink, so they're very ready to fight, taking trades against these Marines before the bunkers are done. Now we blink in, get rid of the medevac. Cyclone body block the Marines there. The tank too far away to actually aid in the defense, so that's not working out either. Now Stalkers relocate over to the right-hand side. Adept trying to shade up that ramp as now the Stalkers blink in. They're going to get rid of tank number 1. Make that a Marine kill as well. The rest of these SCVs will start to pull across. And these Stalkers still trying to fight as these SCVs continue to go at it. There are 3 workers already going down. Our Stalkers still blinking out down to the low ground. I mean, 9 workers is a very good start, and this has just all gone wrong here from GuMiho. Playing against this, again, just 3 gates of herO. He did only just now take the expansion, so his third base is not the super quick third. But yeah, it was definitely some pressure applied throughout the course of this. Again, charges beginning to come through. That stim is about to finish as well. Medevac tank, a few Marines continue to come out as well. So far, just getting set up as our Stalkers will get rid of a bunker. Problem is, I mean, again, these Stalkers just continue to pile on the pressure. A few probes went down. And the Stalkers still trading it up. And we are going to see that orbital command now starting to take some damage. Marines in the tank still moving over here. Stalkers going to just blink through, get rid of the siege tank. Didn't even get a shot off, but of course you had to blink into a lot of Marine fire during this for that to successfully go down. Again, 3 SCVs killed at the moment as we have the Liberator in the back is going to show up and going to get a couple final kills, including a Stalker. So not bad to get a little bit extra out of that Liberator that was already dealing a little bit of damage previously too. So just adding to that. Marines and tanks still joining up. The medevac will load up those Marines, going to boost up that left side. Stalkers, do we see it? I was going to say could blink after it, but I don't think we've got enough distance. Oh my god, he got a second volley off, but not with every Stalker, so the medevac lives. Very low HP. Now the Stalkers have to take a moment before blinking out. The medevac's actually back over here, dropping in for the flank on the Stalkers as they escape. GuMiho making all the moves to try and keep himself in this, but again, he just fell so far behind initially that he's going to have to make a lot of those moves to truly get fully back into it. Okay, still coming up as we're just going to see ourselves the extra gates coming through. Couple Zealot Stalkers charging +1 all coming around. Stalkers will just blink and have a couple Marines getting knocked dead. SCVs in some trouble. 6, 10 workers. Sorry, excuse me. Is going to grow quickly. As now we just recall home. And all herO has to do is not die to the counterattack of GuMiho, but he doesn't even need to because GuMiho just taps out. GG's in the bottom right-hand side, our red Protoss player taking the lead in this grand final early. It is going to be herO. As in the top left, our blue Terran is going to be GuMiho. Game number 2 of our best of 5. And GuMiho show us some success here. Game 1 just did not work out well. Alrighty, so barracks at the front here. I mean, again, the Widow Mine drop got denied easily. The Stalkers found a bit too much value right away before GuMiho had those bunkers up. He clearly recognized, oh crap, I'm going to need these bunkers. But again, just a few moments too late. If he could have identified that a little bit sooner, things could have gone very differently for him, right? So, it would have been a very different approach as we get this barracks up. And on the line to the front, Gateway and the Probe continue to come through. Cracks and the gas coming up as well. Just have this Rex about to finish. Saboteur coming through. As the orbital command starts up as well. Again, no one's really surprised about anything just yet. Early stages. They do wall off as a herO against the Reaper as well, so a factor to consider when it comes to what GuMiho may be able to try and scout over the next little while as well. Just one more thing to keep something of a mind too. Definitely a little thing to think about as we have the factory continuing to build. So that factory is still coming up and online. We get that all rolling. Now Reaper coming through too. So far, so good. Factory again just about to complete, so getting that finished up. As we have the Reaper gonna fire away, probe will go down, and factory about to be done. The sentry and the warp gate all coming up as well. There's Hellion on the way out, starport coming through. We have the sentry already building on the side of herO, so actually gonna go for some hallucination info. With 2 Reapers and a Hellion, it's a little bit more of an aggressive stance from the very start of the game here as a GuMiho, so that might be a factor as well. Something else for us to think of. This Reaper actually takes a lot of shots as we try and get through, but the Stalker will hold battery there to just make sure the Stalker will forever be okay. And so this does not really become anything more of a factor in the next little while. We start to see some Widowmines burrowing up defensively, although the realistic situation is here is this is Twilight and Blink, so there's nothing flying in anytime soon. So we're much more likely going to see those Widowmines left into that medevac soon. And then, of course, coming across the map as that Widowmine drop, which obviously applies the pressure, gives you some more map control for a bit. Again, herO just says, I'm going to play the 3 gateways, going to play that Blink. A little bit more of the aggressive side of things, but not as aggressive as it could be. We all know that this could have been 4 gateways, right? So, yeah, aggressive, but not overly so. As we continue to get settled in on this one, just going to have ourselves the Blink on the way through. And a couple more Stalkers continuing to come around. Again, Blink is halfway through here, the robot facility coming up, our gateway coming by, and the medevac goes boosting into the bottom right-hand corner, where 2 Widowmines are going to look for their opportunity. Widowmine number 1 gets burrowed, is going to blow on a single probe. Actually had to retarget there for a second, which is nice. Gets the double kill on the simulator. It's actually really nice being able to grab that, 2 for the price of what should have been 1. herO didn't actually put the sale offer up, but GuMiho found himself a coupon in the back of an old magazine and got himself a double probe kill. When herO didn't want him to. Well, Blink is going to be done soon, so we're going to see herO able to start turning this more aggressively, but the setup is very different because GuMiho has that medevac still on the other side of the map with 1 Widowmine inside, so he still has a threat. Something that will keep some units of herO back, and especially in this kind of game, right, where you're not playing 4 gates or so, just 3 gates, actually having the medevac to kind of think about and to keep some units back for is a pretty darn big deal. Now, Stalkers. Going to be moving through the couple of Reapers and a Hellion. Pull back over to the right-hand side. What's coming up? Nexus halfway done. We have again +1 attack and Stimpack on the way by. Siege tank is about to be done as our Liberator gets sieged. And just going to grab a single probe there on that assimilator. Oh, this Widowmine gets an observer and 10, what, like 8 more probes, I think? What a great drop in. As we're going to see this Lib get jumped on. That's going to be denied, but what a great Widowmine in the main base, because again, it splashed the observer as well, so goodbye vision, see you later, and now you just don't get to kind of see things as easily as here either. An observer's expensive, man. Bunch of gas early in the game, now you only have 1 obs on the map, and GuMiho just working his way to all of his upgrades, up 10 workers, and GuMiho is finally, you know, feeling like he's on vacation here in game number 2 compared to how game number 1 started out. He's having a much better time of things here so far. Tank and Sieges, Bio still gathers on the natural. We do have Stim, Combat, and +1. A little bit of everything on the way in. Let's start moving out with this force as we head forwards. A Stalker here already, going to be grabbed immediately. Bio gets rid of that. The other Stalkers come blinking around. Again, charge, extended thermal lance, a bit of everything on the way up with the Prism coming through as well. Get all of that ready right away. Again, the +1 Stim in combat. coming around here from GuMiho as well. Let's just continue to get that up as our Stalkers will fire it up. We have a storm coming through. Whilst here, and the first Hellion goes down immediately as well, so that Hellion will drop right away now. Go back and forth. Right, gonna load up just as this army attacks in. Well, goodbye siege tanks, but hello main base. Maybe goodbye main base if your hero's point of view is, well, no, we unload. The units recall, and we just have to leave with these medevacs, so nothing really again. Maybe you can kill the third now, because now everything just recalled back up in the main. Now the mobility's lost, although we actually left one Colossus here too, so we get a freebie there. I mean, this is a freebie that also came at the cost of 3 of your siege tanks, right? So it's not a complete freebie. Don't quite get the Prism either. Reinforcements showing up from GuMiho. Widowmine's burrowing. They will get to go off on these selves. No, actually, they got killed. My apologies. So they got taken down. GuMiho trying to keep on fighting here. Plus one attack upgrade in his favor, but is that enough? No, he is going to get pushed back. That sequence of events did not work well for GuMiho. herO's so committed, by the way. Only 37 workers. GuMiho literally just needed to not actually be the aggressor, and he probably would have been fine. Instead, he went boom, boom, bang, I'm going to fight you. And it backfired in the top right-hand corner. He is going to be up in a 2-0 lead, a map away from closing this one out. Let's make some noise for our Blue Protoss player herO from Dragon Kaiser Gaming. Or get some excitement going for our Red Terran, who's clearly about to bring this back and make this an epic series. Our Red Terran in the bottom left side is GuMiho. Man, base drop was such a bad move. I think what it comes down to is just lack of information, right? I mean, if GuMiho main base drops 3 seconds sooner, and I really do mean 3 seconds. If he goes 3 seconds earlier, herO doesn't dive on the siege tanks, and so the tanks live, they can unsiege and go home. You see the recall as GuMiho, you just lift up and leave. It costs you nothing. The problem is, when he goes the moment he does, the tanks go down, the recall comes in, so then you get nothing in the main. You get a Colossus at the end. But then you're like, oh crap, I lost my tank. So you feel like you need to stick around and do more. And sticking around and doing more, you walk right into your opponent who is living his best life, not building probes, about to try and come and kill you, who just killed your siege tanks. And then you're just kind of caught being too aggressive into a Protoss who's been all in, but obviously in a fairly, you know, a bit of a weirder position, right? It's not your everyday situation that you have that one play out, so a little bit of a factor as well. There's our gateway, our cyber core coming into place. Our Reaper is on the way up. Now we'll see if GuMiho can turn this series around at all, even just win a map, you know. Step by step, one map at a time. That's the process we have to go through for the moment. Factory starts up in the main. And Reaper just about halfway done. Still got that cyber core. And the Nexus continue to come through. Proby coming up as well. Pylon, assimilator, a bit of everything continuing through for the moment. And everything up and running right about now. Probe still coming about then. Just gonna have ourselves a Reaper coming back through, and again a little bit of motion just for a couple of moments here. Nothing too crazy just yet. We do have this Reaper coming over, and of course just looking for a little bit of scouting. Def gets in position, and the Reaper gonna stay away. As our Cyclone also in production. Twilight Council coming through also, gonna get that started up right now. So Twilight coming in, the Adept is going to be here, able to maybe push this Reaper back a little bit. Couple of those Adepties. Just gonna go and clear away. We do have the Cyclone still coming through. Pylon is going to get Council on the low ground, and with this Pylon gone, the Cyclone can maybe just move out. We'll see if he actually wants to take it across the map or so. See what the choice becomes here. Blink coming up, Warp Gate on the way, Robotics Facility coming by as well here on the side of herO. So we're getting that robot up, the battery coming up as well. Let's just have ourselves the couple of extra structures going through. Really, again, nothing too much. We're just playing Blink again. herO says, I'm going to use it until it stops working. Why the hell not? See, Reaper getting caught there, getting stuck. GuMiho drops a question mark. Oof. A little bit of pain. A little bit painful, for sure. Just gonna be setting ourselves up a little bit again. A couple more Marines still coming out. Our siege tank coming through. Got that blink on the way up. The gateway and the assimilator still coming about. Okay, these guys discussing what just went on, and if that Reaper is, we do see the Widowmine getting caught. Problems of GuMiho have not been super astounding. Let's go see the Raven coming up. Rax, Engineering Bay, bit of everything continues through. Prism is still about to finish. As Adept is still going to try and move forward as it's going to come straight across here. Those do raise to block off. 10 block dive still on the way in. Our Stalker's going to blink through. Going to go find an SCV. So there's a couple workers going down. Make it 3, make it 4. Looking to make it 5. Thank you very much. Great bit of harassment off these Stalkers. Doing a great job thus far. That's exactly what you want to be seeing. Plenty of SCVs killed. Stalkers getting in. Dealing damage. Getting out alive, healthy. Couldn't really ask for much more than that, right? So in that regard, feeling very good. That Depth's going to shade by, but the Depots are going to raise up immediately. Again, seeing the Stim and the +1 attack upgrade coming through. We'll also have a Barracks coming into play. And Charge and Storm coming up also. So a bit of everything on the way in for the moment. We do have those extra batteries coming up. The fort's still building. Our Nexus is halfway done. We have that battery finishing in the Naturals. Just getting that completed as well. Still got that Storm coming up. Not far from being done at all. Still got our Stim and Combat Shield and +1 all coming about. So again, all those upgrades up and running. Marines come over, tanks get set into place. Well, GuMiho is on a push. He has got quite the army with him. The Raven there as well is obviously a pretty big deal because that can provide some really good value going into this fight. So Raven to do something. We drop an anti-armor missile twice over. Does not interference Matrix. Well, Storm comes down, hitting a few of these Marines as herO looks to find himself the defense. He's bought himself some seconds here already, and that means that the charge upgrade is going to get to complete. So that's already a pretty big deal in itself. So that's a big step in the right direction. Archon about to finish morphing in as we maybe think about the opportunity here as GuMiho to fight up this ramp. More medevacs is going to come out, and across there you go. Concussive shells coming out. That's about to finish as well. Prism, what are we going to do? Not much just yet. Prism just going to be chilling here as you have the few Marines going to come up, and the Prism going to take a couple of shots. herO to come up, the Archon will take a few more hits. So a few Stalkers going to blink back across, a couple of Marines already going to be taken down. Widowmine's coming up, the Infestor's Immortal and the Robobay coming about. The Prism getting locked onto by the Cyclone for a moment or two. Load the units back up. The Cyclone and the Marauder drop back down again. So we're going to get ready to charge in from the left-hand side. Stalkers and Mortals and Archons coming in from the upper right. Storms all over the place. Bio units taking some pretty heavy hits as Immortal Archon is going to sweep the floor with this. I mean, I think GuMiho just stood there a little bit too long waiting for I mean, he's got the Ghost Academy on the way up, but it feels like that's what he kind of really needs to fight. So sticking around there for so long has just not given him the opportunity that he's really looking for at all. Coming back over the prism, flying through, going to head toward the main base. Lazard's going to go through there. The couple of SCVs being picked away at. Marauders chase across. The Widow Mines are there as well. And the units will drop back into this main in the next couple of moments. So that's going to get busy once more. But you drop a Nexus down on the 4th base, getting that on the go with the Armory and Engineering Bay coming up also. There's a couple of Ghosts also in production for the moment. Fire still gathering up. The rest of the Archon Immortal Stalker force coming around as well. A couple of Ghosts, Marines there, just going to chase the Prism away over to the corner. More Medevac's going to come across, and the rest of this army back over the right side. Feels like herO is definitely putting himself in a better spot here and just already starting to carve himself into the best possible place. Plus the attack coming up, Chrono boosting along for the moment. Again, just going to have our 2-2 upgrades and the Ghost on the way in. And then just having ourselves Ghost Vikings, but everything coming through. The 2-2 still coming up. Our Stalkers will come about. Is coming up, the Observer Speed coming around as well. 2-2 still coming through in. Again, Prism comes over. Again, Vikings, Ghost, 2-2, a bit of everything. GuMiho does get set up at least. I mean, hey, at least we're going to see GuMiho in a bit of a later stage game where he's not trying to doom drop into the main and losing everything in the process, so a little bit of a different vibe. I'm in for it. Cannons, batteries all coming up. Again, 2-2 upgrades and the Prism Speed coming around as well. Stargate also producing. Make a double Stargate on the way out right now. Fire comes over, just going to knock one Stalker down. We take a 4th base. Hecate is a pretty difficult map to attack in on, right? So that's going to be one of the problems that sits ahead of herO here. If it feels like he's got an advantage, pressing that advantage is going to be tough. It kind of works on both sides. At least as the Terran, you're more naturally able to split that army up and push. By doing that here, you would be able to kind of stretch this map that is stretched out naturally a little bit more. Although I will also say that, to be fair, there's a bunch of cannons over there too. The Stark defense is in very good places, kind of where it's meant to be. To really make this one of the better possible situations. Couple Stargates still coming online, Pylons still coming up, Dark Shrine and the Fleet Beacon coming through as well. Just having ourselves a couple more SCVs getting knocked down in the process. Storm out over here, a few SCVs going down. Damage already being done. Well, it's the end of the Prism at least, so that will fall, and a couple High Templars going down with it. So that's a good cleanup, of course, big win there. You have 2 Prisms on the way from herO, so he's going to go double Prism action. Have options on 2 different sides of the map at the same time is obviously potentially very cool, very hopeful in terms of what you might get done. Again, Vikings will join up as we max out on both sides. Like I say, the fights may be difficult to find on this map. It may not be easy to set up for. You have the nuke in production as well. 3-3 upgrades also coming through. Fusion cores about to finish. Extra CCs and refineries all coming up. Vikings are on the way too. A little bit of everything currently being made. And you just have the missile turret there. Going to hit the Hallucination, trying to fly forwards. The rest of these Vikings coming around. Orbitals, CCs. Again, a little bit of everything just coming up for the moment as we get ourselves settled. Well, it comes through. That's a little bit of a pick off. Nice little kill. Cheeky one there. As GuMiho sits out in the middle of the map. Obviously, with carriers on the way, hero's kind of putting the pressure on GuMiho. He's saying, hey, look, you can let me do my thing, but I kind of suggest you go do your thing. Because if you don't start doing your thing here as GuMiho soon, carriers coming out, etc., just going to make your engagement so much more difficult to take. It makes the game so much more complicated. Guess we'll see how it pans out as that bio comes through. A couple stalkers taking shots. Gonna get knocked down. We get a couple storms off. I mean, this is hero just being aggressive, maybe overly so, right? Does he need to be storm dropping? Absolutely not. He has got Archons though chasing down these SCVs. That's kind of funny, although those Archons have gone a little bit too far for themselves. Somehow still around. And Archons are so tanky unless they get EMP'd. It's funny how many shots they can survive. Well, hero has so much money in the bank as well. This is kind of a scenario where you're like, as hero, you definitely want to fight, right? Because he's got money to spend beyond the fight. And he's about to have Shadow Stride too, so even if he just frees up some supply, he could go into a bunch of DTs instead of start blinking those DTs around and really using those as kind of that late game harassment squad, which is so powerful for Protoss at this point of the game. We'll just go over the right, gonna clean up that Zealot, a couple more structures coming through, +2 ship weapons coming in, advanced ballistics, +1 vehicle plating also coming down. Everything getting settled here as the medevac comes with the Widow Mine drop up to the top. Let's see how Army's still pressing at the front. Storm goes down, Vikings take some damage, Storm's feedbacks. And again, the only thing I'd say is Hero's army isn't large because he's got so many more workers and he's building those carriers which are not over here either. Every storm on those Vikings has got to feel great for Hero, man. Because every storm you get on those, the lower they get, the easier it's going to be to clean them up as well. It's a nice catch on the DTs. Actually going to get a lot of them before they get in. Vikings still overhead, just going to be seeing those DTs all getting hunted down. That's actually very expensive for Hero. That's a lot of money lost. Fire comes over. Disruptors, carriers continue to come through. Another ship on the way up. Stalkers and carriers continue to push down to the bottom. We've got one more storm in. Going to be seeing those carriers actually in trouble. I mean, this is the problem because now you don't have the supporting cast as Hero. He dives to kill this base. Well, that'd be great if he could survive the follow-up attack, but I think he's just completely messed himself up here. With a storm, Vikings coming through, Bio still coming over. Storming about here, there, and everywhere. Shot fires through as well. I think Hero's just dead. Man, this was just a horrible set of fights from Hero. Last minute or so. And again, just engaging with the carriers when he doesn't have the support to keep them alive against the Vikings is kind of crazy as well. One Marauders coming up, ship weapons coming in, that +3 coming through, Disruptor, Immortal on the way up. More probies coming about. Marines, Vikings, and Ghosts are chilling on the bottom. Because do you have extra mules dropping in? I mean, the thing for GuMiho is now access to this 5th base is gained because Hero lost a lot of units. Well, now he's got that extra economy that makes it a lot better for him as we do have Disruptors, and Hero's going to try and take this base on the low ground. He's also doing the same on the other side of the map. Oh, a wild situation here. This Hero really does keep on pushing forwards. Extra Disruptors, Robo Facilities, and Nexus all on the way. Hero has rebuilt to an army. He obviously had a lot of money stacked up initially. Resources lost, I was going to say, is going to be nasty right there. Like 9,000 difference. Mothership recall into the main base. Oh, this is fun. Because you can zone out of the main base with the disruptors. Need to start firing them now, though. As, yeah, we're going to actually get a couple of ghosts as that works. GuMiho's attacking on the right side. He's going to nuke his own main in an attempt to defense. Oh my god, the nuke is still landing. It is not being cleaned up, that ghost, just yet. There is going to be storms across the map. No, GuMiho, GG's out. He lost everything over here. Oh. That kind of killed the hype of the moment, no? I kind of felt like we were going to see a nuke land, even if he just nukes the main base before he leaves. Did he lose the ghost in the end? I don't think so, right? I think this ghost lived until the very end. This guy nuking. He literally left just a moment before the... He literally left just before the nuke landed on the Protoss army. Like, I understand that you died over here. But to leave just before the nuke lands? Bro, you could have given us something. You just get stormed to death over here. And obviously, a lot of his supply is Vikings, and there's not really a lot of Vikings in Duke except beyond the ground. There's a lot of static defense here. Storm... This obviously wasn't great, eating all these storms and stuff, but I can't believe he left before the nuke landed. It was actually going to blow up all the disruptors, man. Jeez, herO takes it 3-0. I'm genuinely disappointed that